Well, I'm the president of the Botanical Society of Scotland just at present. My background is as a plant physiologist. I'm a retired research fellow of the Centre for Ecology and Hydrology in Edinburgh. After seeing Pete's presentation yesterday of the 350th celebration of the Botanic Gardens, I was encouraged just to put a couple of items about the history of the Botanical Society of Scotland into my presentation. So, we were founded in the same year as the BSBI, just a few months before, in 1836. Membership records from the 1860s, shown here on this slide, we had overall about 400 members of that time. Our honorary members included Prince Albert, the husband of Queen Victoria, and we had numerous foreign honorary members, some of them you can see here. Women didn't feature very much in the Botanical Society at that time. They had a special category called extraordinary members, and out of all the 400 members, there were only about a dozen women. We've always had a very close association with the RBGE, and our archive is hosted in their library at present. Over the time since we started, various societies have merged with us, and in 1935 the Cryptogamic Society of Scotland merged with what was the Botanical Society of Edinburgh at that time. And our remit these days is to promote the study of plants in the widest sense of the word, including algae, fungi, mosses, liverworts, lichens, etc. And we do this through a winter lecture program, a summer field meetings program. We have publications, student awards and grants, and we run projects and conferences. And John Grace will talk about our urban flora project in a minute or two. Our publications include our news, which all our members receive. On the right of your screen here, you can see the contents of our most recent edition. So we have an article by Tom Dargy on cool links and golf and how environmental science and planning work together, or not, as the case may be. An article on glyphosate-resistant herbicides, and several articles where people report on their independent summer fieldwork this summer. Unusual plants, poisonous plants found in Edinburgh parks, all sorts of things. Our standard members also receive our academic journal, Plant Ecology and Diversity. This comes out several times a year. It's a peer-reviewed journal and we cover a wide range of topics. People who subscribe to this can also gain online access back to all our publications starting in 1844, and there's a mine of fascinating information back there if you ever want to try it. Our winter lecture program last year got off to a very good start. And then everything started to go wrong in February when Tom Dargy's talk in Inverness had to be cancelled due to absolutely atrocious weather. And then, of course, COVID hit. So all our activities after that were cancelled. Just to highlight on this slide that although most of our in-person lectures are held in Edinburgh, last winter we ran lectures in Dundee, Inverness and Perth as well. These are in association with local societies, and we could run them in other cities in Scotland if local societies would like to get in touch with us about it. We also give out student prizes and grants. Each year we award an annual student dissertation prize. This year it went to Liam Morton of Scottish SRUC. for his dissertation on Phytophthora. These dissertations are submitted to us by the exam boards of the respective universities. We reviewed our grants and prizes in December 2019 and increased the value of several of the awards. And we extended our advertising of these awards through Brisk. Now, we didn't receive any applications this year, and that was probably partly tangled up with lockdown and everything else that was going on. But we are usually undersubscribed on these awards, and we would like to find ways of getting better take-up of them. I should also add that these awards are funded by the interest from several generous bequests we've received, notably most recently from Basil Ribbons and Sheila Mary Reid. This summer, of course, we had to cancel everything just as the BSBI had to, but several of our members went out recording independently within their allowed distances for our Urban Flora project. And of course, the Urban Flora project was absolutely perfect for the situation this summer. We delayed our AGM and we had to move our autumn 2020 lectures online. The lectures so far have gone very well. We've had 2 of them, and if anybody's interested, they can go away and find the recordings of them. To make up for the lack of fieldwork, John Grace set up a blog for us called Botany in Scotland. This covers a range of themes. People review scientific papers, discuss particular topics. We have a plant of the week, and we also have a learn section aimed at people who are beginning plant identification. This blog's been pretty successful. We're really quite pleased with it. We've had about 5,000 views so far from all over the world, mostly the UK, but everywhere pretty well, Chile even. At the bottom of this screen, you can see some of our most recent items that have been put up. A notable thing for us has been the public inquiry about cool links, where there was an application to put a golf course onto a site that's SSSI, it's a local protection area, and it's a Ramsar wetland, so protected at both local and international levels. The BSS put in objections at the local planning stage and after the call in to Scottish ministers as well. There was a public inquiry early in 2019, but the decision wasn't reached till February of 2020. It was partly drawn out because the applicants submitted their final documents extremely late. Anyway, planning permission was refused this February. But unfortunately, recently a new application has been received. It's a different applicant, but the layout on the sand dunes is exactly the same. And there are extra developments close by as well. So we've got to keep an eye on that. It's worth pointing out that the Highland Council do have the right to refuse an application when a similar one has been rejected in the preceding 2 years. So we'll just be waiting to see what happens there. Tom Dargy was one of the key objectors to the original application and has spent very many hours working his way over the sand dunes, working out the implications of the impact of different teas and greens and so on the most sensitive vegetation areas. And this summer we awarded him an honorary fellowship in recognition of his terrific efforts. There are some useful links just at the bottom of this screen. If you want to follow what's happening with Cool Links, go to www.coollinksgolf.com. There's some very interesting information there.